Good day and welcome. We're going to take a tour today of the Pinal Geology and Mineral Museum, and Ken Rapier is going to lead that walkthrough. Hi, how are you, Ken Rapier?
Good morning. I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
Good. Thank you so much for being here. We want to actually get a little information to learn about you first before you walk us through.
A professional geological engineer.
And how did you start? How did that come about?
I've been interested in the earth and natural things ever since I was a wee tad growing up on Long Island. And I used to go into New York City to the American Museum of Natural History, and I fell in love with the mineral hall there. And that just built my interest up, and I've made a career out of geology.
Perfect. So minerals, kind of like, would you say minerals also include gems as well?
Absolutely. Minerals are everything solid in the earth. And that includes everything that you need for day-to-day living, to what you wear in your fashion, and the plastics in your car and your clothes, and just about everything we live on. If it can't grow it, it has to be mined.
Perfect. So thank you so much for giving us an introduction of yourself. Why don't you take us into the museum so we can check it out?
All right. Come along, please. Let's begin the tour with a story about the geology of Arizona. Emphasis on Pinal County. The oldest rocks in Pinal County date back over 700 million years ago. And these are representative of them. It's a basement igneous rocks, and that's our foundation of everything. This map of Pinal County, the orange part shows where the exposures of Precambrian rocks are. Next up is the Paleozoic era, which is about 500 million years old, up to about 250 million years ago. And these are oceanic sediments. The oceans covered Arizona, much of Arizona during this period, and so you get the limestones and shales and mudstones. Now we have a bunch of fossils from Arizona that are in these rocks as well. More recently, we come to the Mesozoic, Cenozoic, and more recent times. So this is 250 million years up to the present. And what we have here is a lot of volcanic rocks and some more granite, intrusive rocks. All the mineralization that you see here for the copper mines in Arizona is of this period. So what else we have in the museum, first of all, is a collection of fossils, many of which are either recent mastodon fossils, mastodon bones, saber-toothed tiger, cat, gull, mastodon teeth, a variety of things. We have a suite of fossils, including petrified wood, which Arizona is famous for, and a bunch of other fossils, some of which are Arizona, others of which are other parts of the world. We have over here a series of exhibits showing the minerals, local stone resources that the Indians used to make their tools, arrowheads and scrapers and hammer stones, grinding stones and stuff of that nature. And then some of the minerals that you can find locally in Arizona. Patchy tears come from Superior, little nodules of molten volcanic glass that is frozen in the rock. And we have turquoise, which Arizona has a lot of, and then many other things. What we have here is a discussion of what a fossil is and how it's formed. And what we have over here is an exhibit of meteorites based on the meteor crater in northern Arizona. This is all donated by Carlton Moore, and he has done a lot of work at Meteor Crater, so all of these materials are from the crater with explanation of what that's about. We have an exhibit of dinosaurs here that actually talk to you, and they'll get the kids interested. Here we have a baby dinosaur that the kids can ride on.
Nice.
And it turns on and it moves around and does wonderful things.
Even the big adults can use it too?
No, it's not recommended. And then over here we have a little sandbox that kids can sift out fossils and sharks' teeth and bits of things like that, and they can take them home. A few books and games and stuff for the kids to play with.
Okay.
But we also have a gift shop and a library that people can use, and a donation jar for anybody who's interested. Yeah. What we have here, just finally in this room, this is an exhibit that was put together by the Celestian family of rocks, pebbles that they've collected in the drainage of the Gila River. So it's just an assortment of rocks that have been picked up by the river and run downstream. And then they've cut and polished a bunch of them just to show you what sort of materials are available locally. Now we can move along into the mineral gallery, meeting room for the club. What's here? First of all, these three cases represent a collection, international collection of mineral specimens, crystalline materials that happen to be my favorites. That case has materials from Australia, those two end cases. The crystal systems case under the windows explains what crystal systems are and crystallography to a degree. Moving along, we have two more cases of minerals that are general. This case here is all a mineral called zeolites, which occur in gas bubbles in a basaltic volcanic rock. So one of the things about crystals, essentially they have to form in an open space where they're free to grow, and that allows them to pick up the geometry that you see in all these magnificent specimens.
So if they're free to grow, they grow in what would be an example that's in the room of what they would be growing in?
Well, a rough example would be this amethyst geode, which is the host rock, again, is volcanic, but this was a gas bubble, and the gases and fluids that were in that bubble crystallized out as the rock cooled. So what you have here is the crystals within the rock. In order to pick up their shapes, they have to have space to grow in, basically. This is an exhibit of minerals from Bisbee, Arizona, which is one of the most prolific specimen localities in the world.
And what's special about this box right here?
This is an ultraviolet light box, and so there are various mineral specimens that look blah in daylight, but you turn on the ultraviolet light and they come up different colors.
And this is natural?
This is all natural. These 5 cases are all Arizona minerals, showing the variety of things that we can find here in the state.
So we have these minerals that come out of mines and they get grown in rock that gives them space to grow. What are some minerals that we use today that you can point out?
Well, virtually everything that has color in it, most of them will have useful minerals like copper or vanadium or molybdenum or lead or zinc or something like that as a primary component. All of the things that we mine in mines around the world are these minerals and others. So, but most of them are not crystalline because they haven't grown in these cavities. So these are typical of the mineral suite that's available here in the state of Arizona. We do have some gold over here. Local southern Arizona gold specimens. Some of the gem materials that are available in Arizona, the turquoise and porite, fluorite, peridot, amethyst, dean quartz from the Four Peaks area.
So we use a lot of this stuff in our everyday.
Our everyday life is based on minerals. As I said earlier, if it can't be grown, it has to be mined. So everything that's not organic, and including some of the things that are organic that we use every day, whether it's metals for cars, copper for wiring, electricity, lithium for batteries, graphite for batteries, oil for plastics, oil for nylon and fabrics, petroleum, medicinal purposes, all of that has to come out of the ground, and we depend on it.
So these are really important to have.
It's essential. We wouldn't exist without them. Here are some more colorful specimens. These two cases are all from Australia. Some of the minerals we depend on would be, for example, zirconium, lead, zinc, molybdenum, copper, lead molybdate, beryllium, more copper, chromium, lead, cobalt, copper, tin, copper, lead. These down here are gypsum, which is a calcium sulfate. We use that directly as wallboard in our houses. So very, very important mineral to all of us.
Can you tell us about the rocks on these tables? Do you know about them?
Certainly. These are sale items for kids. They can pick up these egg cartons for $1 and fill them, 12 specimens from these little drawers with labels. So, it's $1 for 12 specimens for the kids. Over here are crystalline specimens and petrified woods that cost a little bit more if people want to spend the money. It's nice vanadinite crystals, some peridot, petrified wood, some quartzes, hemimorphite, zinc ore. So there's a lot of things for us to do. This is also the room where we have our meetings, our society meetings, club meetings. This museum was the inspiration of Dr. Ray Grant, who is a local resident. He's taught geology here in Pinal County for quite some time. Local knowledge is exquisite about geology, but he just wanted to put this together. And so we opened up around 2015, and it's been put together since then. We have a mineral club that's associated with this. We do field trips and lectures and exercises for the children and stuff of that nature. We're having a mineral show next spring, Cotton Days with Chamber of Commerce here in Coolidge. We have monthly meetings, and we're having a guest lecturer at most of those, which will talk to us for about an hour, refreshments, and send you all home. Museum's open currently 10 to 4, Wednesdays through Saturdays. Admission is free. Come on in. We do host tour groups. We host school groups. We host whoever wants to.
Wonderful. Anything else you want to share?
Can't think of it. If you have questions, feel free to ask.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Ken Rapier. This is awesome.